So what we're seeing is the big players come in with a lot of financial backing, buy out some of the lottery winners, their retail licenses up so that they can have several stores in the province. So in technical speak, if you have a market concentration ratio, so the 4 biggest firms control more than, say, 65% of the market, that's a highly concentrated market. And that's where we're headed. One of the things to watch for is if we get a high level of concentration. Now we're into dealing with a competition bureau. Okay? There are rules in place at the national level to prevent highly concentrated markets from abusing market power. That's where we may end up having to deal with this. I think one of the ways forward is going to have to be either releasing new permits to fight off or stave off some of this market concentration, or taking a look at the rules and preventing producers from really engaging in the retail space.
Do you feel the government should have put provisions in so that pot licenses couldn't have been flipped this quickly?
It's hard to do well. One of the problems with a private environment is owners need an escape clause. Owners need a way to get out. What I would have done is I would have had the license revert back to the government and have a new process issued if an owner wanted out. The other option they could have done right off the start would have been to just auction the things off and let the government capture that revenue that is now being given to those people who won the retail licenses.
And how will this affect consumers?
Well, when you have a concentrated market or somebody who's paid a lot to be in a market, they're going to charge more for their product. So that's the real concern, is that this is going to lead to sustained higher prices for consumers in the legal market. And that provides a lot of room for the illicit market to continue.
Are we going to see less variety of pot?
That's a distinct possibility. One of the concerns I have personally comes from understanding what's happening in the brewing industry over its history. So in Canada, we collapsed to only 2 brewers, essentially. So there's no variety in beer. And that's what we could end up with cannabis. Although cannabis users tend to think of the product more like craft beer, they like variety, they like specific strains, and they're going to find ways to get those products. That means the illicit market. So one of the models to look at would be BC, which has precluded licensed producers from participating in the retail space in the same way. So they've limited that possibility and they've reduced the possibility of vertical integration and that sort of market concentration. But it remains to be seen, again, which of these different markets across the country, different market structures ranging from entirely government-owned, from Quebec through to PEI, and sort of private sector retail and different structures within that from Ontario west. So we've got a wonderful natural experiment going on, and we'll get to see which system works better. But it'll take 5 years to know.